bants, no trolls, pure analysis. That's what we do on Football Fantastic. My name is Deji Omotoyinbo. Welcome to episode 2 of the show that started last week to rave reviews from you out there. We thank you for watching. And on this week's show, we have Talking Tactics. We want to find out how Manchester United managed to stop Liverpool's winning run in the Premier League, amongst other things. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us. We take off with the news from across the world of football with Pedro Peter.
Thanks, DG. We kick off with some Ballon d'Or news where France Football Magazine have released the 30-man shortlist for this year's award, with Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Virgil van Dijk headlining the list, while Brazilian superstar Neymar and last year's winner Luka Modric are not included, while France goalkeeper Hugo Lloris is among the surprise inclusions for the Laurel. To the Nou Camp, FC Barcelona have struck a £13 million settlement with Atletico Madrid over the disputes regarding the signing of Frenchman Antoine Griezmann last summer. To the Emirates, Arsenal manager Unai Emery insists referee Mike Dean missed a clear penalty and has voiced his discontent with the video assistant referee VAR after his Gunners side fell to a 1-0 defeat to Sheffield United on Monday night. Lastly, to the Copa Trophy, Nigeria's Samuel Chukwueze, Jadon Sancho and Moise Kean are among a list of 10 players to be nominated for the prestigious Copa Award for players aged under 21.
Thank you very much, Pedro Peter. That was the news across the world of football. We're back with the wrap on Football Fantastic. Yemi Adeosun is here. On the wrap, we take a look at the top 5 European leagues, what happened over the weekend. Great to have the bread and butter club football back. And Yemi, let's start with the Bundesliga, where it's absolutely crazy. The top 9 teams are separated by only 2 points. Some of the results from the weekend: Augsburg 2-2 with Bayern Munich, Dortmund 1-0 over Mönchengladbach, Leipzig 1-1 with Wolfsburg, Hoffenheim 2-0 over Schalke, Frankfurt 3, Leverkusen 0. How do you separate the boys from the men here? Very tight.
Well, probably we have to wait till the winter break. I think that's when things really settle down. A whole month away from football. More often than not, you expect Bayern and Dortmund to be the ones leading the chart. But interestingly, you have a team like Mönchengladbach also showing that they want to be there or thereabouts. But I do think that once we get to January, February, when the winter break concludes, you start seeing a semblance of sanity. Although in Germany, it's always it's a thing of note for you to be crowned, quote unquote, winter champions. So it'll be interesting to see if Mönchengladbach, for instance, can maintain the chart till the break. But I think eventually,
you do feel that Dortmund and Bayern Munich will still come to the fore in the latter stages of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. And Dortmund definitely needing to defeat Mönchengladbach to cut the gap, and they did just that. So Mönchengladbach only lead Wolfsburg on goals difference. All right, we go to France, where it's becoming customary. PSG have taken a 5-point lead at the top after a 4-1 victory over Nice. At the start, they looked a bit shaky, but hey, back with business as usual in France.
Well, first and foremost, there's the Neymar issue.
Yeah.
But he's back in the team and he scored a lot of critical goals for them. Of course, then at a point, they had the front three injured or suspended. But somehow, I think they've even changed their approach. They're playing quite narrow, a lot more now, but defending on the fullbacks for their width. But then, gradually, they're separating themselves from the other teams. The disappointment for me is actually Lyon, who I felt that this year will kick on. But interestingly, they've gotten rid of Sevinho, who stepped in from Bruno Genesio as manager, and now they brought in Rudy Garcia. Marseille, another one that's disappointed me under AVB. But then, as usual, PSG, you expect them to win the championnat. The critical point is the Champions League for them as well, as we've expected over the last few years.
To Italy, where Juventus, again, found a way to win a very difficult game. They made a habit of winning difficult games. Juventus 2-1 over Bologna. 2 crazy games in Italy. Sassuolo 3, Inter 4. It was 4-1 at some point. And of course, Atalanta and Lazio. Atalanta led 3-0. Lazio pulled that back to 3-3. But Juventus and Inter, it looks like those two might be the key actors this season.
Yes, those two, because it's important to look at how will they survive against some teams that are supposedly lower lights. You mentioned Sassuolo pushing Inter close, Bologna pushing Juventus close. So that might give room for a team like Napoli. I still think that Napoli will be in the equation. But overall quality, Juventus have been here year in, year out. They know how to navigate a long Scudetto chart, especially when they are at the top. Once they get to the top, it's hard to get through. So you have to look for matches between the top three that I mentioned. Juve, Inter, and Napoli. Whatever happens within those three will determine who wins the Scudetto. But it will be an interesting year.
Very interesting. Napoli defeated Verona 2-0 at the weekend. And to the La Liga, Real Madrid have been knocked off their perch. They lost surprisingly to Mallorca, although you have to say, well, much change. Madrid team and Barcelona for the first time, the front three all scored. 3 away winners at Eibar. Eibar was always a difficult game for Barcelona over the years, but they made light work of it this time.
Well, you know, for how bad people tend to think Real season is, you know, they were top until last weekend. They've had a lot of injuries, not a steady back four, and of course then there's this goalkeeping issue. And they're also trying to, I think Zidane is getting under a bit of pressure to try and integrate the guys that he signed
into the team
during the season, during the off-season. Jovic, Hazard, Militao from Porto. I think that's where the problem lies. But I think that in the end, still, Real, you can't discount Real. And Barca, on the other hand, you know, it's good to see that the front three seem to be working well. They did score over the weekend, but still they also have their issues. I still think the balance in the team is not right yet.
That front three, some have said, is now Griezmann, Suarez, and Messi, GSM.
But it will never be it will be the other way around.
It has to be. All right. Atletico 1-1 with Valencia. Atletico not firing as much as we thought they would. But we have to go to the Premier League now, where the main game was 1-1 between Liverpool and Manchester United at Old Trafford. Man City cut that lead to 5 points, and then it became 6 points. 2-0 winners at Crystal Palace. Chelsea won over Newcastle, and Sheffield United defeated Arsenal surprisingly on Monday night 1-0, and Tottenham 1-1 with Watford. Manchester United Liverpool is a game we're going to analyze on the Talking Tactics segment, but just give us an overview of that.
Well, first and foremost, I felt that United were there for the taking for Liverpool.
Before the game?
Before the game.
Okay.
But they didn't take that opportunity. But at the same time, I think United stepped up to the plate. The emotions surrounding that tie came to the fore. I think United players they stood up to the test. But overall, the golfing class of both teams is still very clear, and United will have to do a lot to bridge that gap. All
right, we're gonna have to leave it here, Yemi. Thank you. That was the wrap. After the break, we're going to continue in that vein because Kingsley Akpan will join me and we'll take a look at Manchester United Liverpool on Talking Tactics. How did United manage to stem that tide? Back with that after the break. Welcome back to Football Fantastic Episode 2. It's time for Talking Tactics. Kingsley Akpan joins me for this final segment. And we're taking a look at Manchester United from against Liverpool from the weekend. Tactically, it did look like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got it right at the start.
Yes.
Played a 3-4-1-2.
1-2. Yeah.
7 people behind the ball when they were defending.
Yes.
But in the course of the game, what did Jurgen Klopp do? What did he do to nullify that? But first, let's start with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. How did he get those tactics right?
Yes, just like you mentioned, 3-4-1-2. Now, the 3 central defenders were supported by Wan-Bissaka and Young.
As wing-backs.
Yes, as wing-backs. And you could even call that, maybe say, a 5-man defense when they are...
7 when they were defending.
Yeah, when they're defending. Now, for Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp sets his team up a 4-3-3 formation. And the 3 at the top, they always move in. They play narrow. Then they allow Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold join the attack. So you can call it a just two central. They did just 2 central defenders, and the 2 other guys joined the 3 in the attack.
That left spaces for United.
Yes, and that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did very, very well. For Scott McTominay and Fred, they were very, 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 very impressive. Now, when they get the ball, just throw it up to James and Rashford, whose space would disturb Van Dijk and also Matip.
And they will be isolated because the 2 fullbacks Had gone forward.
joined the attack. And that's what Solskjaer did very, very well. And you could see that that's where United's first goal came from. Now, when Klopp saw that, if that game had gone on that way for 90 minutes, I don't think Liverpool would have scored. But Klopp just tweaked his team and now played a 4-2-4, pushing Henderson and also Origi to join Mane and Firmino. Now,
And make sure the wing backs couldn't come forward.
yes, and with that, Young and Wan-Bissaka had to join the three at the back to defend. Now, that opened the space that was covered up before by United's wing back. It opened it up, and you now had Trent joining the attack, Robertson joining the attack. Now, when Klopp also made his substitutions, you could see that he needed players who would help Mane and Firmino, and that's what prompted the substitution, the bringing in of Chamberlain and also Lallana. And where did the goal come from? Robertson from the left, since it was not possible any longer for Wan-Bissaka to nullify him.
What could Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have done to nullify that?
Yes.
What could he have done?
I feel that immediately Klopp switched to a 4-2-4 with Henderson joining the attack and, doubling up on what United had defensively. Because before, in the first half, it was 5 against 4.
Yeah.
But in the second half, Klopp had to add one
Man
more,
up.
making it 6 against 5. What Solskjaer would just have done was maybe take out one player, say maybe Pereira, and bring in Jones, because I knew he had
somebody with a bit of a defensive discipline.
body. Just throw the person in there so that you would have 6 against 6, because that's what happened in the first half.
To buttress your point, when the cross came, Robertson was isolated. They couldn't get to him on time. The cross came across and all of that. Okay, now going forward for United, is this a one-off tactic or is this something they can deploy for subsequent games?
But I don't think every team will play like Liverpool when they have 3 up top.
Every team can play like Liverpool anyhow.
When they have 3 up top, the 3 guys go narrow and they allow their fullbacks to fly forward. We cannot really pick many teams that their fullback will have the kind of assist that Trent and Robertson would give you.
Yeah.
So for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think what he can do, it might not be too easy. Just do your homework on all the teams the same way you did
that's what tactics are all about.
Against Liverpool.
You play against Liverpool. For Liverpool, though, the absence of Salah, I think anytime Mane plays from the right, he's not as effective as when he plays from the left.
Spot on.
Because from the left, he turns onto his stronger right foot,
yes.
and then he can make things happen.
If Shaqiri were not to be injured, if Shaqiri was available for
Probably
that
Shaqiri would have played from the left.
Just played from the right.
From the right,
just like Salah. And but when you have Origi and Mane, have to go to the right side. It disrupts the balance, and I think that's why Liverpool struggle.
Okay, before we go, do you get the feeling Liverpool's tactics, because club hardly changes, are being found out? Although it showed with his variations in the substitutions in this game that he could be flexible. But do you think this obvious tactic of that 4-3-3 with those front 3 are being found out, and it has to be a bit more flexible tactically this season?
I think so. Because if you remember, Arsenal against Liverpool, Unai Emery did this same thing.
Yeah.
Isolating Pepe and Aubameyang with Matip and Van Dijk. And if you remember, in that first half, Arsenal had a few chances, but they just couldn't take the chances. So managers now found out that Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold will always bomb forward. Just throw 2 strikers, against this central
Very
defenders.
interesting on talking tactics. If you're a pure fan of football, you would enjoy talking tactics as we've done. It brings us to the end of episode 2 of Football Fantastic. We want to thank you, Kingsley, for coming on the show. Thank you for joining us on Friday on this platform. Watch out for the Hoops, the maiden episode of our basketball show with Bode Oguntui and myself. My name is Deji Omotoimo. It's been Football Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.